Earlier this week on Monday, Twitter locked U.S. Congresswoman Vicky Hartzler out from one of her accounts for allegedly, quote, violating their rules against hateful conduct. Now, what did she tweet? Simply this, that, quote, women's sports are for women, not men pretending to be women, end quote. And the people at Twitter say the Congresswoman's account won't be reinstated until she deletes that tweet. Meanwhile, the office of Russian President Vladimir Putin is free to tweet as he leads the deadly invasion of Ukraine. All of this begs the question, which is more hateful? Opposing men participating in women's sports or bombing Ukrainian cities? Joining us now to talk about all of this is U.S. Representative Vicky Hartzler, who's a member of the House Armed Services Committee. She represents the 4th Congressional District of Missouri. Congresswoman Hartzler, welcome back to the program.
Well, thanks, Joseph. It's good to be here.
Well, it's good to have you. I guess the first question is, do you intend to delete the tweet?
No, I do not. I'm not going to let the social media liberal woke group determine what is free speech in this country, what information can get out, and what needs to be censored. They should not be the arbiter of truth in this country, and I will not pull it down. I've told them they can have their Twitter account back. This is unbelievable how they continue to allow Vladimir Putin to tweet actual words of violence and untruths, and just simply because I'm, as a former track coach and an athlete myself, I'm speaking up for girls' athletics, and they silence me. I mean, it is wrong, and we've got to stand up to this woke crowd.
I think this issue does highlight an important question that we're having as a country. What is hateful conduct? And their policy, and I'm going to read this because I'm unpack this slightly. This is what Twitter says, is that you may not promote violence against, threaten, or harass other people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, disability, or serious disease, end quote. Now, you may not promote violence against, threaten, or harass. How is expressing the belief that men cannot become women a form itself of harassment or threats?
It is not. It is not. And I'm just speaking up for female athletes all over this country that are having their dreams dashed and their opportunities for scholarships vanquished because of this wokeness, which is allowing biological males who decide that they think they're a female to participate in girls' sports. And we're seeing medals and being taken away. In my ad, I point out the most famous example of this is the swimmer in Penn University, who for 2 years competed on the men's swim team and then decided that he was a woman and now is demanding and is swimming on the women's team. And he is taking their medals, their records, and it's just wrong. And we had 16 girls on that swim team write an anonymous letter to the university and to the Ivy League championship before the championship last weekend and asked them to not recognize him. But they said in their letter that they were told if they speak out on this, they would be kicked off the team and they would never get a job. Now, this is wrong. These are girls that have probably been practicing swimming since they were little girls, getting up every morning, going to the pool, putting in long hours, dreaming of the opportunity to someday swim on a collegiate team, and then to have that opportunity and then have all of their goals dashed when a biological male on the men's team comes over and says, now I have to swim on your team and I'm going to take your medals. It's just wrong. And so I'm speaking up for them. I'm speaking up for common decency and for, I believe, common sense. And Twitter considers this hate speech. It's just common sense.
I think that the American public agrees with you, but how do you describe this disconnect that I think big tech and kind of the woke elites have with mainstream America in terms of the definition of hateful conduct? Because I don't think most Americans would view the expression, the belief that there are men pretending to be women competing in sports as inherently hateful. Now, you could say that in a hateful way, but it's in many ways not a judgment. It's an observation, just what is. Why is there such a disconnect between what Main Street in America believes and what the elites running these big tech companies believe?
I don't know. They just have bought into this liberal mindset that a very small percentage of individuals in this country are the arbiters of truth, and everyone else is, not in line with what they think is the new modern thinking. And if you hold conservative Christian views on anything, or as I say, this is just common sense as a former track coach as well, then you're silenced. So they're trying to silence us into submission with going along with their new agenda, with what they believe is now truth. And female athletes are going to be left in the wake as a result of this. Years ago, Congress passed Title IX to ensure that females had equal opportunities in sports. And for many years, those who consider themselves feminists and others promoted of feminism and women having equality. And certainly I support women having equality in sports opportunities. And now that's not popular anymore. This new version of what truth has stepped up to be the overriding message that should be supported now. And I don't understand that, but I am proud of some even liberal feminists who I may not agree on other issues who are speaking up on this issue. And they are saying that girls' sports should be for girls. And so I've been pleased to see that. But many of them have been targeted and silenced by the woke social media as well. They have been attacked. So they're turning on each other. It's just a crazy time. I often think of the children's book that I used to read to my daughter when she was little, but The Emperor's New Clothes. And I feel like we're living in that type of world again, where nobody is willing to actually speak the truth, because they're afraid that they're going to be criticized or made fun of or censored if they speak the truth. And so I'm not afraid to speak the truth. And just the
Congresswoman Hartzler?
Yeah.
You are speaking the truth, but sadly, we are out of time for you to speak any more truth in this segment. But we love this story. We appreciate your courage, and we will be in touch again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.